Are you ready to level up? Do you wish to live a life of options and not obligations? You've come to the right place. Thank you for stopping on by to hear knowledge nuggets from Coach Fergie and his top-tier guest to help you lean into your ultimate human potential. Now, let's level up with Coach Fergie.
Hey, Varsity Squad, welcome back to another powerful edition of Level Up Conversation with Coach Fergie with Time to Shine Today Coaching. I'm your host, Scott Ferguson. Blessed to be your GAP coach, specializing in performance mental conditioning, working with business leaders, entrepreneurs, entertainers, athletes, C-suite, and students to help them bridge their success gap to live a life of options and not obligations. On this platform, we are stoked to bring you high performers who are not just pursuing and attaining success, but redefining it through providing above and beyond service. And squad, real quick coaching knowledge nugget this week. We love saying when the moment comes, I'll rise to the occasion. Maybe. But here's what I've learned coaching high performers. You don't magically become somebody different when the pressure hits. You reveal who you've been preparing to be. Pressure doesn't build your habits, it exposes them. I'm blessed to coach a Big Ten collegiate wrestler, an absolute stud. We're talking about those tight matches where the crowd is loud, your lungs are burning, and 20 seconds left, and you need a takedown. I told him, brother, this is not the time to start searching for another gear. That gear needs to already exist. It was built during the extra reps, the conditioning, when nobody was watching, drilling the same position until the reaction became automatic. Getting your mind right before you ever stepped on the mat, because when chaos shows up, you don't have time to negotiate with yourself. And squad, this is not just wrestling. That's presentation, that's difficult conversation, that's a sales call, that moment when life punches you right in the mouth. You're probably not going to suddenly become disciplined, courageous, calm, and prepared. You're going to default to what you practice. So stop asking yourself, will I be ready when my moment comes? Ask a better question. What am I practicing today that I can trust when the moment comes? Prepare with intention, stack the reps, build the habits, because when pressure finally introduces you to yourself, make sure you recognize the person standing there. And my next guest knows all about pressure. She doesn't just coach the game. She knows how to win it, mold women, and building a winning culture. Ali Denney is head beach volleyball coach at New College of Florida, a former Division I athlete who competed at the University of South Carolina and at FIU, and today still competes while coaching full-time. What started as a coaching to help fund her travels quickly became a calling, and she's become pretty darn good at it. Ali led the Mighty Banyans to the perfect 10-0 conference season and their first Sun Conference regular season championship, earning her the 2026 Sun Conference Beach Volleyball Coach of the Year honors. But what makes Ali's story stand out is that she understands winning is about more than what happens on the court. With a background in psychology, kinesiology, and exercise science, she brings the mind, body together, building athletes, build confidence, handle pressure, compete with purpose, and become stronger versions of themselves on and off the sand. And I love this part of her story. She's still in the arena. Ali continues to compete while coaching, so when she's asked her athletes to stay disciplined, embrace adversity, and raise their standards, she's not speaking from the sidelines. She's living it right alongside them. She's a competitor, a teacher, a culture builder, and an award-winning coach who practices what she preaches. And Ali, I'm so glad you came on, and I just have to say that your pops is one of my coaches, and I absolutely love John Denney, so a big shout-out to John and awesome White Barry and Luke, your brother.
Yes.
But welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so you were born in Maui.
Born on
right?
Maui, yep.
So you have one of the best volleyball minds ever, and Gabby realized that you could actually pick her group, her brainless stuff. But
yeah,
you grew up in Florida, played Division I beach volleyball, and now basically live your life around the sand. Was beach volleyball always going to find you, or did you find beach volleyball?
On Maui, my dad played with Laird and Gabby, and he was one of her practice players. So I was always around it, but on Maui, I rode horses because they didn't have recreational sports for girls. So then when we moved to Florida, I was like, it's way too hot to do an outdoor sport, be in riding pants. And so I decided to try indoor volleyball, and then 2 years later found beach volleyball, and I was like, this is way more fun. I love being at the beach. And then, so I think it was always going to find me, and just ran with it.
Wow. And you originally got into coaching partly to help pay for traveling?
Yes. Yeah. So it's a way to mold your schedule around the tournaments that you want to play.
Got you.
So it's a little bit easier to fund it, and instead of working a traditional 9 to 5, you can have your day and then go coach at night.
And I noticed you have different partners sometimes that you play
with.
Is
all the time.
So it's not like who's the big one, the Misty May trainer and Carrie Walsh, right?
Yep.
They were like the big ones that you always saw them together.
Totally.
Do you have certain people that, without calling anybody out, or but do you like to play with?
Totally. One of my One of my partners that I play a lot with, her name is Lydia Smith. We've had a lot of success
She's
together.
the taller one?
Super tall.
And no offense, but everyone's taller than you.
Oh,
out there.
yeah.
When you get out, man, your ups
Thank
are
you.
sick. I see
Thank
that. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, so
Well, shout out
I
to
try
her,
to look
yeah.
for those tall partners. Lydia is one of the girls I play with very often, and she's awesome. We've had a lot of success together over the years, but that's what you look for in beach volleyball is you look for that magic partnership like Misty May and Carrie Walsh had.
Yeah, and they had it for so long.
Yeah,
right?
they were lucky ones. Yeah.
Right. So when was that moment when you realized, wait a minute, I'm not just doing this for extra money. I actually love coaching.
Yeah,
When was that? When did that hit you?
that happened in 2021 when I started working for a company called Better at Beach. And I started doing that with my fiance, JM. And so Better at Beach is a company that coaches adult volleyball players who love the game, maybe picked it up later, old college players who want to learn how to just improve the game. So we started coaching these 7-day long camps. And I was like, this is pretty cool, you know?
For adults?
For
or-
adults. Yeah. So we did that for about 3 years. And then I was like, man, I'm pretty good at this. People started booking private lessons with me, and I was getting booked throughout the week along with the group sessions. And I was like, all right, I think I could be pretty good at this.
Wow.
So that really started then. Yeah.
The volleyball myself, it wasn't shoved down my throat, but my
Yeah.
dad was going to be an alternate for the 68 team.
No way.
Yeah, my dad is 6'5". He's a big dude.
That's incredible.
And no one really knew he's this farm boy. And then in the Air Force, he just started playing.
What?
And then the next thing, they're like, oh, hey. And then something that came up, it's called war.
Yeah.
He wasn't able to go and do that because it was all during the Vietnam conflict and whatnot.
Gotcha.
But you've experienced, Allie, high-level volleyball from both sides of the whistle, we'll call it.
Yeah.
What did Allie, the player, completely misunderstand about coaching that Allie, the coach, understands now?
Yeah, I would say mindset is number
Okay.
one. I've always been like a work hard, get what you want. But now as a coach, we've dove really far into growth mindset and just having a growth mindset, being a learner on the court and continuing to learn through strategy, finding different ways to be successful and be creative in that. So I would say I wasn't the most coachable when I was growing up. I'm a little bit stubborn. So becoming a coach, I recognized that in athletes. And I had a couple coaches who recognized that in me, and they're just like, all right, just let her go play. But had I had a different mindset, I think my career could have even taken a even bigger path. So mindset is number one for sure.
Because you played for the Gamecocks and then
Yep.
FIU, right?
Yep.
So that's not low-level
No.
volleyball. That's
No.
legit.
Yeah.
Let's say this crazy because I do follow the sport.
Yeah.
Did you play an 8-person size or was it always like,
No, so
smaller?
I played beach, which
Beach.
is 2-on-2.
2-on-2
Yep.
all the time, right?
All the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you studied psychology and then
Mhm.
earned your master's degree in kinesiology and exercise science. Funny thing is, when I was in the military, I did these thing called CLEP courses where you could go to college at sea and,
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff like that. And kinesiology was the thing that I was thinking about, and then my whole life went in a different direction. But when I see it, which is awesome. Yeah.
Totally.
Your coaching philosophy now incorporates what you talk about: mental tough,
Mhm.
movement science, growth mindset, and motor learning. So when
Yes.
an athlete is struggling, like, how do you determine whether they're dealing with a technical problem, a physical problem, or I like to coach from here, right?
Yeah.
What's between their temples? Like, what is your secret sauce? This is going to help me with my coaching, by the
Yeah,
way.
totally.
So what is your secret sauce
Totally.
to that?
Our secret sauce is we tap into the mindset first. What's your mindset like? Are you really focused at on the goal at hand, or are you halfway focused and then distracted by something else? So we do our best to ask open-ended questions, and then we find that the better we can ask a question of who, how, what, when, rather than a yes or no question, diving the athlete into really figuring it out themselves so that they create the answer that they're looking for. And we're there as guides. We're not there to just handhold and
Yes.
give them the answer.
Yeah.
We're really there to guide them towards what we've experienced and what we think could work. But really, everybody's different.
We all know what we want. We just don't know how to tuck ourselves into it.
Totally.
That's the coaching philosophy that I work with. And a lot of people are consultants, even though they say they're coaches.
Absolutely.
Like you say, do this. And I say this, I'm blessed to coach a billionaire. And
Amazing.
he has a hedge fund. And he's like, who am I to say anything about his business? But there's just this gap that
Yeah.
he's missing that kind of gets him back on track. And I believe that everybody that has a problem, a challenge, the solution's right there.
Yeah.
Right? So how do you bring that them to attention to their solution? What is some of your practice habits that you have with them?
Yeah, absolutely. So at our practice every day, we start with mindset, and it's 5 minutes to just get present. So the first 5 minutes of practice every day is some sort of mindfulness practice.
People from the
So,
harmony exercise.
yeah, we do the G7 with the team.
Love it.
Yeah,
Love it.
so they love that.
That's how I learned the G7 is watching your video.
Oh, no way.
Swear, yeah.
We got to
yeah.
redo that. That was a long time. That was an old one. But yeah, so we do the G7 with the team, and we have a few that we cycle through. So sometimes we do things called a weather check, which is just 5 minutes of them having conversation with one of their teammates. And then we'll give them different tasks for that. Another one is they'll sit in a circle, close their eyes, and just popcorn count to 100. So they just count to 100. When they feel present, it's their turn to say a number. And so we just kind of have this list of mindfulness, social noting, different things that we go through like that. And that really gets them present. And then our number one rule at practice is zero judgment. So not only zero judgment with your teammates, but with yourself. And that's really the biggest challenge for girls 18 to 22, who are the age we're coaching right now. And zero judgment with yourself, that's something I've
Huge for
continued
young
to
women.
Yeah, it's huge.
Oh my gosh,
Huge, especially
yes.
with society and everything.
Yes.
The pressures, and being collegiate athletes right now is super challenging. And so zero judgment and having a growth mindset, just be a learner. And we find that the people who embrace those two things are the most successful in our program. And we call ourselves scientists out there. So we're just like
Love it.
always learning.
Always, exactly. And so now that you're 10-0 and you won the conference championship, I'm sure you're going to get a little bit more attention to have people come to, it's New College of Florida?
New College of Florida.
New College of Florida. So, like, I'm not saying you're picky, but you can be like, to lack of a better term, buy into your mindset. Is that something that now that because when you're 6 and 5, you're like, who's this coach? You had to prove yourself to them.
Yeah.
Now it's almost like people, not saying they have to prove, but be willing to work and be open to the mindset, right?
Totally.
Is that something that you're having conversations with new recruits and stuff like that?
Absolutely. In the recruiting process, we talk a lot about that. We talk a lot about what our coaching philosophies are, because they are a little bit different than the old school style or this new school style of coaching where, hey, we're not going to handhold you through this process. We're here to guide you. We're here to help you not only become a better volleyball player, but a better person.
Love that.
And so we really want them to love their experience. I'm a big believer in you only get to do college once.
Yes.
So make it rad. Make it the best time ever.
That's fine. I love it. And squad, talking about rad, we're going to come back and we're going to throw it to my sponsor, Steve Austin with Rise Mortgage, who I'm super blessed to have. And we're going to come back and kind of talk with my good friend Ali here, Coach Ali, about standards and how she holds her athletes to standards and holds herself to standards. Steve, take it away.
Thanks, Scott. Happy Saturday, everyone. This is Steve Austin with the Rise Mortgage Dynamic Team, here with your mortgage nugget of the week. Are you struggling to find the home you want to purchase? You may just not be looking in the right places. Don't miss out on the home you've been looking for just because you didn't see it. Let's make sure you have the right connections to get the access you need to successfully navigate your home search process. If you're ready to get the access you need for a successful property search, give us a call at 561-250-6044. That's 561-250-6044. That's it for this week. This is Steve Austin, your branch manager, NMLS 762328 of the Rise Mortgage Dynamic Team, NMLS 1604663, an equal housing lender.
Are you looking to finance your dream home, vacation getaway, or an investment property? The Rise Mortgage Dynamic Team and Company is here to help. Steve Austin and his team, their expert loan advisors, combine local knowledge with cutting-edge technology to make your financing process efficient and seamless. Whether it's your first home or your next investment, trust Steve Austin and the Rise Mortgage Dynamic Team and Company to guide you every step of the way. Visit them today and experience the perfect blend of technology and personal touch. Steve Austin's Rise Mortgage Dynamic Team, your local experts in residential financing. Call Steve today at 561-352-9278. That's 561-352-9278. 561-352-9278. NMLS number 1604663.
Hey, Stevie, thank you so much for the sponsorship and also that mortgage knowledge nugget. I notice the rates are standing firm right now, but they'll be coming down soon. I can really feel it. And I'm back with my good friend Ali Denney, the offspring of one of my mindset coaches, John Denney, who's in Ali, is just absolutely phenomenal coach. Again, coach of the year, your first year.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. So
Thank you.
I like to say that goals are nothing but byproducts of your standards. What do you think about that?
I love that. That's so
Okay.
true. It's so real. You can have a goal, but if you're not actually living to do those things that will push you towards that goal every single
Right.
day, it's just something written on a piece of paper.
It's just there.
Yeah.
It's like a plan plan without action is a wish.
Yeah,
It's like-
yeah,
it's
that's so
like-
good.
It's so true. But again, we're going to take it back to this 6-5 team, and no disrespect to whoever was there before, whatnot, in conference play, right? It was conference
Yes.
play. Okay.
Yep. That
In the
for
first season, you're 10-0 in conference champion. What that kind of jump doesn't happen, Bentley, right? So what changed inside the culture? And I know we might go back to mindset, but if we do, let's go deeper into it. But
Sure.
what changed inside the culture that anybody outside the program could see it on the scoreboard? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
what changed in it?
Totally. I think the girls saw how much we cared. And as coaches, it came from top down. So
Always.
they had it.
Yeah.
So there was a head coach before me, and a lot of the girls didn't connect with her.
Okay.
And so then I became the interim head coach, and I was like, I really want this to be awesome for you guys. And so I started showing up. I showed up with practice plans. I showed up to weights. I went to all their weight sessions. I was like, really bought into them.
Real quick, is it 2-on-2? Like the okay, cool.
2-on-2. And they run it like tennis, like a duel. So there's 5 pairs that play.
Got you.
And you got to win 3 out of the 5 to win the duel
Roger
against
that.
the other school.
Okay, got it.
My fiance JM and I, we were like, we're going to do this differently. And so he came from an experience coaching at LMU out in California when we lived out there. And LMU has this new wave of coaching. It's called the optimal learning theory, but it's basically culture first. And the coach before me said she believed in culture first, but didn't actually live it. And so we decided that, hey, if we're going to instill all of these standards with these girls, we got to be the example of it too. And we have to walk the walk. We can't just talk the walk. So that was a really big difference maker for them. And they were like, whoa, you guys are actually doing your best every day. That makes us want to do our best every day.
Love that. And one thing about volleyball that kind of fascinates me, one, excellent athletes, it's in the sand, but because once the match starts, there's only 2 athletes out solving problems together.
Absolutely.
Right. So you have to match that chemistry with them, and that you can't call timeouts every 30 seconds and rescue them. How do you coach athletes to think for themselves instead of becoming dependent on their coach? Because they see you out winning. I saw you won a $10,000 event and stuff, but I'm saying, so
Yeah.
they see you out there killing it. They can't just run to go, oh, coach. So what are you instilling them to, for lack of a better term, killer instinct, yet while working together?
Yeah.
What is it?
We have, honestly, as weird as it sounds, we have a player manual. And the player manual lays out everything, all of our standards. So we don't do punishment. We're really big in positive reinforcement, like you're training a dog. So it is like that. So you're training a dog. You don't want to just beat the crap out of the dog and then it's not going to listen to you. It's just going to be scared of you. We don't want them to be scared of us. We want them to respect us and trust us. So we're building that trust with them. And so a lot of our practices are built around strategies and experiences that they may experience in the matches.
Ooh.
So that's
Situational awareness.
absolutely,
all that stuff, right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Strategy, things that we've tried. We do a lot of intrinsic motivation at practice. We do real live film feedback at practice. So we dive really deep into that you practice a lot more than you play in college sports. So practice is super purposeful every single time. And that builds the trust in not only us, but in themselves.
Gotcha.
Hey, you've experienced this. Remember this +2 game that we played? Remember this game that we played where there was this reward?
It's like that cookie jar. It's like you keep out or making deposits you can withdraw later.
Exactly.
All those reps that they're putting in, that's deposits.
Yes.
And be like, hey, remember that deposit you made? Now it's time to withdraw, kind of thing, right?
Exactly.
Right.
And so a lot of them leave practice more mentally fatigued than physically fatigued because we're making them think all the time of, hey, the goal is to get the ball to the corner. I'm not going to tell you how to do that because there's 1,000 ways to do that, but you have to figure out how to do that. Then when we're in a game, hey, this strategy works against this team's defense. Let's hit it to the corners. And then they already have those ready, have that experience.
Love it. And So let's stay there because
Yeah.
I think this applies way beyond sports because you're molding young women as well. And so, how do you teach someone the difference between making an adjustment because something isn't working and abandoning the plan because they're uncomfortable? Like,
Yeah.
what is your kind of process with that?
Goes back to asking those questions, asking the tough questions and making sure that they're figuring it out for themselves rather than us just telling them what to do. Because if you're just told what to do, you can get yesed to death and just like, yep, I got it,
Right.
coach. But if you're asking them, what would you do in this situation? How do you think this would make this? What do you think would happen here? So then they really have to think about it.
Yes.
And when they have to think about it, they draw more out of themselves, and it is challenging. And we tell them, hey, we're gonna challenge you, but we're zero judgment. We're not
Right.
gonna judge you if you're wrong, quote unquote. You need not even be wrong, but you have to try these things to gain experience.
Yeah, and that experience will level up into their regular life too, because they'll be out there
100%.
and wives one day,
Yeah.
mothers and stuff like that. And what you're teaching them, Allie, is it's above reproach within especially how you teach them with that. But
Thank
like you, which can I talk about the mother?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
because you're expecting here, like in
Yes.
not a few months, but in a little bit.
Yeah.
But you still compete yourself,
Yep.
right? While coaching full time. You know,
Yep.
does continue to put yourself in a situation where you can lose, fail, get frustrated, and feel pressure make you a better coach?
1,000%.
And also, does that help you a little bit have some empathy towards your student athletes?
Oh yeah, 1,000%. We see, because I can tell them, hey, I've been there. I've been in your shoes. I just experienced this summer. I was in control in this situation, then I lost control because of something, whatever it was. And so, especially playing while pregnant, that's been a really interesting experience. Then they can also trust that experience. Whereas you get some coaches who never played at a high level. They just somehow got into coaching
Right.
because they met the right person or they were
Sure.
at the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
And they can't coach through the experience. So that's also something that we really love is coaching through our experience rather than just, hey, do this because the book said this.
Gotcha.
And so we've coached with people like that and we're like, I've experienced this
Right.
moment. That's not what's going to happen when you're up 24-23 and it's championship point and you win, you played at 25, you got to win at 25
Right.
by 2. They see that we have played,
Yeah.
they see through our experience, and then that just continues to build the trust. And
Love
that's
it.
just a huge difference
And
maker.
they see it.
Yeah,
And they
they
can
see
come
it.
to you and the situational, hey, Coach Allie, like this, what did you do here? You
Exactly.
can learn from it. You can pass it on to them. But I love that you're not telling them what to do. You're letting
Thank
them
you.
figure it out, right? 3 or 4 rapid fire questions.
Sure.
Only answer it 5 seconds.
Okay, got it.
No explanation. So
Got it.
better feeling winning as a player or winning as a coach?
Player.
One quality you cannot coach into an athlete.
Attitude.
All right. Harder to develop, physical toughness or mental toughness?
Mental toughness.
Yeah. One trait an athlete can have that'll make you think, I want that girl on my team.
Mindset.
Okay. What's more dangerous to performance, fear of failure or fear of disappointing other people?
Fear of disappointing other people.
Okay. So if you could coach Ali Denney, the college freshman, for 5 minutes, what would you tell her?
Be a learner.
Be a learner?
Yeah.
What else? I'll let you expand on that one.
I was a little bit of a know-it-all.
Okay.
I was a little bit of a know-it-all because I was really blessed to have high-level coaching in high school.
Yeah.
And because of that high-level coaching that I received in high school, I came into college and I made decisions of where to go in college based on things that didn't really matter. So
Yep.
had I known a little bit different things, I would have maybe chosen a different school where the coach could have taught me something a little bit different.
Sure.
But I think being a little bit more of a learner is something that I'm learning now and practicing every single day and
Right.
just being curious, being
Got
more
it.
curious about
That's my
things.
superpower in coaching. It's curiosity.
Oh,
They're like,
I'm gonna
"That's-
learn from
that's-
you."
Yeah, it's just be curious. And just the questions will come because 90% of my coaching sessions are me asking them questions.
that's awesome.
And then they figure it out. And then I'm very militant on holding them accountable. So I don't care what
Yes.
level in life they are. But yeah, I get fired a lot. Like, I don't want to do it. I'm just not the right horse for your course. This is fine.
Absolutely.
Outside of volleyball, and this is a quick one. What
Sure.
puts Ali Denney in her happy place?
Oh, going to the beach.
All right. Yeah, we have them all over the
I
place,
love
right?
them all over. I love going to the beach.
I love it. And I have a canned question I ask everybody, but How does Ali want her dash remembered? That little line in between your incarnation date and your expiration date, your life and death date, hopefully is way down the line.
Yeah.
But how does Ali want her dash remembered?
Oh, somebody who just let her light shine and made everybody's day better. I always want to make everybody's day better when I see them.
Gotcha. And was it competitive in the Denney family?
No, surprisingly.
Really?
Yeah.
When your dad surfed Jaws, your mom runs, me and your dad work out on Tuesday mornings,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And we're at the Heart Trail, and your mom's just booking around past us. She goes, keep up. And I'm like, dude, but it wasn't really that competitive.
Not super competitive within the family. We were very supportive of each other.
That's all.
And the competition was outside rather than within. And my brother and I competed a little
We'll say
bit.
little big brother, because
Yeah.
he's like 6'5".
He's bigger, a lot bigger than
Something
me. But there was a little bit of competition between the two of us, but our sports are so different. He's way more into the board sports, water sports.
Yeah, he's really good at those. I
Excellent.
see him.
Excellent at them. And I got into the team sports a little bit more, but being a better team player and I would have learned how to be a better team player maybe, but we never did family board game night.
Right.
We're not that kind of family.
Gotcha.
But they were super supportive of us growing up. Whatever we wanted to do, they were like, go try it. We'll be there.
Love it. So the last 5 seconds,
Sure.
like how can we find you if we'd like to find you?
So my Instagram is al_den, AL_DENN. And then I'm on Facebook too, Ali Denney. And then if you go onto the New College website, it's gomightybanians.com. That's the athlete website or the athletics website for New College. You'll find me there on the beach volleyball
Looking at
page.
you right now.
Yep.
Love
perfect.
it. Walking off with 2 of your players. Thank you so much for coming on. This has just been amazing. And squad, have a great weekend. All those troops that are out there, stay in the course, love your guts, and be safe.